Hi everyone, how's it going? Happy Sunday. I hope everything is going okay for you today. Let me know what you're up to today on this Sunday, if you're just chilling out today, or if you're making some time between all the appointments to follow up on Uranus and Gemini today, because I know Uranus has been in Gemini since July 7th, and I'm a little bit late for this report, but on the other hand, on August the 8th or the 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius. And that is really going to emphasize all the themes that I'm going to mention today. And it's going to really put the spotlight on what Uranus in your house of Gemini is going to do for you during the full moon that we are about to see. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Astrid. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to know more in depth about Uranus and Gemini, I already posted a whole collective video on that. Today, I'm going to walk you through each of the 12 signs so you know what's up for your personal sign today. So, hey, Becca. Becca says, get ready for surprises. Yes, definitely, because Uranus, it is the great awakener, it is the liberator, and expect the unexpected. Uranus really tends to highlight themes that even we cannot imagine right now. So yeah, a lot of surprises in store, definitely. And hey, Kati, hi from Belgium. And Stain is here as well. Thank you so much for joining live, Stain. Yes, I'm doing better, so I hope you guys are doing well as well. Okay, let's start the presentation for today. So yeah, get ready to actually decode the future, because Uranus will electrify Gemini and sends waves of awakening, innovation, radical change, actually through our local environment. That is the sign of Gemini. And I'm going to break down exactly how this lightning charged transit will spark breakthroughs in your life sign by sign. So whether you're craving fresh new ideas, maybe you have been stuck on certain problems, maybe you're going to have this unexpected new connections or a total reinvention, especially if you're a mutable sign, especially if you're a Gemini, of course. And Uranus and Gemini is actually here to shake up your world and expand the mind. Because one of the most uplifting gifts of Uranus and Gemini is actually its power to rapidly expand consciousness. And it's in an air sign that is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of the mind, of our language, and also our perception. And when Uranus moves into the sign of Gemini, it actually acts like a cosmic lightning bolt that is going to shatter a lot of mental limitations and also outdated beliefs. And we are going to see more frequent experience of people who have these sudden realizations, these intuitive downloads. And also Uranus is the planet of flashes of insights, and that can feel as if they've come from beyond our ordinary thinking. So fresh, new, electrifying lightning strike. That is Uranus. So yeah, during the transit, really expect that information can really come inside of the mind in very unexpected ways. That is what Uranus is all about. It's almost as if you're tuning into a frequency that wasn't accessible before. So people are going to have these big aha moments. They're also going to completely reframe how they see the world. Also, it's going to be reframed how we communicate with each other. Think about our phones, the internet. That's all up for a very big change. And also, the revelations that Uranus is about to bring can actually really catalyze these radical changes in personal philosophy and our learning style. So how we actually teach something or how we learn something. And also it's going to be very big in our spiritual perspective as well, because Uranus is about higher insights and higher knowledge as well. It's about astrology, frequency, the unseen networks that are behind the scenes, these invisible networks in our local environment as well. So yeah, think about science, art, astrology, technology, metaphysics. All these things will encourage a new connection. And also it's about multi-dimensional understanding and the quantum field. So it's also the sign of curiosity, Gemini. So, and in that sense, it's Uranus is saying that no idea is too strange or too weird or too revolutionary to explore. We're going to see some big, big, big breakthroughs, especially in esoteric knowledge and neuroscience knowledge and breakthroughs in that, and also in studies revolving our consciousness. So think about lucid dreaming, breathwork, meditations, quantum technology. All these things are going to see major, major, major breakthroughs, and it's all going to become quite fast mainstream, because people are going to collectively try to seek and tap into these altered states of awareness to really process all these rapid changes. Because Uranus, it is like a lightning bolt, it is very, very fast. So people are going to need to really calm down the nervous system. Uranus rules over that as well. And because it's in Gemini, and Gemini is our local environment, people and their everyday routine can become quite, too much stimulated, actually. And the brain and the nervous system really needs some help to calm down. Maybe you've already noticed that Uranus has been in Gemini since July 7th. So let me know how you are actually experiencing that. So, and Kati says, supposed to be 108 degrees Fahrenheit today and tomorrow here, but your shows are hotter. That's so funny. I didn't read the comment before I pulled it up on screen. Well, actually, it's quite hot here as well. The sun is luckily not out today. It's a bit cloudy, but yeah, it's been hot here as well. So, yeah. I hope you can cool down after watching these shows, Kati. So let's look a little bit at the thumbnail that I've set up for today. It's actually so funny. I've just like asked Sora to give a futuristic view, because Uranus, of course, is about the future, and this is what it came up with, and I had to actually laugh, because the future, it isn't something we wait for. It is something we remember. It is something that is already here. So in this image, you see me standing there very calmly inside a futuristic vessel, dressed in an armor that's actually very protective. And that symbolizes resilience. And you can see behind me, there's another version of myself that actually mirrors my presence. So perhaps it's a past self, or maybe it's a parallel possibility. And it really suggests that the journey forward, it isn't linear. It is actually layered and also circular as well. So here, Gemini's duality really comes to life. It is about the past and the future self. And the self is very, very fluid. It is encoded with data from the quantum field, from the stars, from our ancestral lineage, and also our past life memory. So Uranus in Gemini really invites us to step into the unknown and to actually reprogram our stories and also reclaim our future from a place of personal truth. And this image isn't just sci-fi, it actually asks us, what if your most authentic self already exists in the future and it's only waiting for you to catch up? So you're not just gonna glimpse the future, you are the future already, standing in a now, asking others to also wake up, suit up, and join you in the process of Uranus in Gemini and in the 7 years to come. So, Al Stain says, cool thumbnail, looks like 5 years from now. Well, I hope it's going to be a little bit more in the future, because if you look at those ripples, I was actually thinking about at least 10 years from now. But thank you so much, Stain. If I'm still going to look this good when I'm 40, I'm going to be happy. So, and Becca says, we are all coming into alignment as creators of our lives, past, present, future. Yes, Becca, that is such a beautiful addition. And thank you so much for adding this, because that is beautifully said. And Steen says, okay, 15 years. Well, that's a better take on it, Steen. Thank you for correcting yourself. Okay. If you don't know your rising sign, plug in your birth details here on astro.com or AstroSeek or AstroDienst. All these websites are very, very applicable for getting your birth information. This is your rising sign. First, listen to your rising, then your sun sign. And if you want to look at it from an emotional perspective, especially if you have a moon in Gemini, look for your moon sign as well. Hi, Inge. Okay, let's start with my fellow Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have Uranus transiting into your third house from 2025 until 2033. And it's going to bring a big revolution to the world of speaking, communication, learning, your local environment, your daily mental habits as well. And it's actually part of the chart that rules how you speak, write, think, how you relate to your immediate surroundings. That includes siblings, your neighbors, can be short distance trips, being on the road, short road trips, and also technology and the tools that you use to connect with other people. So that can be about your computer, your phone, and maybe something needs to be renewed in that as well. And you're going to experience sudden changes in your neighborhood. You can unexpectedly move somewhere else as well. Can be also shifts in your friend groups because Uranus rules your 11th house, of course. Or yeah, even a relocation of immediate environment that is going to be triggered by very, very unexpected factors. So the atmosphere around you might feel a little bit unsettling, as if the local world really refuses to stay quiet when you need it sometimes. So mentally, it can bring, because of that, some restlessness, but the positive side is brilliance. Uranus is the planet of the genius. So you can feel as if your mind is going to race, that it's going to jump between a lot of topics, or can feel overwhelmed by information. If you already have some ADD, just like me, or have some ADHD or something else going on in that area, then you might feel that Uranus is going to like turn that up a notch even more. So you are going to need to create an intentional space for mental stillness to actually avoid mental burnout. Uranus can also unlock this genius level insight. So it's going to help you express your ideas with unfiltered honesty. Uranus can be quite shocking. So yeah, shock therapy, I sometimes use it, but some people are gonna rebel against that. And you are gonna actually rebel with your voice. So yeah, if you've held back from speaking your truth, then this is really going to be your era where you are going to find your voice and use it in a very, very shocking way. That can be the case, so be a bit careful about that. There can also be a strong pull towards new areas of interests that can be in media and writing and technology and blogging and having a YouTube channel and speaking publicly, because for a community or a big group of people, because Uranus rules your 11th house where that belongs to. So you might also become very, very fascinated by a new subject or a new hobby, especially if it involves something about communication, learning, or some digital communities that you can step into. And also know that your engagement with the media or with your audience or with groups of people, that might fluctuate. Uranus can be a bit unstable. It disrupts, it renews, and you can also feel like you're binging information one day and then going totally offline the next day because you had like an overdose of electrifying the impulses in your brain. So also be mindful of technological mishaps. Just know that your devices might glitch, they might break, they might need frequent replacement. Travel plans could also change at the very last minute, and also short trips might take on a very unpredictable quality. So yeah, rethink how you communicate, what you believe in, and also how you connect to others on a daily basis. But above all, it is about mental freedom, it is about originality, and also about shedding these outdated thought patterns and actually building or crafting a more authentic, empowered voice in a world full of noise. So Uranus rules the 11th house of friendship, social networks, long-term visions, and the transit through the third house is going to have some ripple effects on your broader community ties, on your hopes, dreams, goals, your aspirations, and the way you communicate, especially online or within groups, can actually radically evolve. It can lead towards new unexpected kinds of alliances, unexpected collaborations, can also be about bumping into very eccentric people in your local environment that become part of your friend group in a very, very fast way, because Uranus goes really, really fast. So yeah, use your voice in service of the collective cause. That is what Uranus is all about. Become a connector or some kind of messenger within an innovative circle, within humanitarian causes, activist groups, and know that your words hold power. Not just in your local environment, but also you are actually shaping with your words the communities that you belong to. So luckily, Uranus forms a very supportive trine to Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th house. So your voice and ideas can really, really spark real innovation in the movements that you're part of right now. So influence the future in very bold and intelligent ways. That is your chance right now. And also trust that your voice can really spark change, not just in your neighborhood, but also in the future that you're helping to build with these big groups and communities. And your words can have big impact on the collective consciousness right now. So use it wisely, and let me know if you already noticed something about that in the last few weeks. So good luck, my dear Aries. And hey, Mem Jax, sending hugs back to you. Then we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's it going, Taurus? So from 2025 until 2033, Uranus is going to move through your second house. So Taurus, like, you're lucky. Uranus is going to leave your sign after 8 years, of course, from the 8th of November until the 26th of April, 2026. It's going to dip back for the last time in Taurus, and that is like the final blow, and that is the final time that Uranus is gonna really push through and shifts in your own identity. So you're definitely gonna notice that starting from the fall for the Northern Hemisphere until spring, actually. But after that, Uranus is going to move in your second house of money. So the area about income, resources, value, your self-worth, and it can bring disruption and innovation to your sense of security, especially about the way that you earn, save, and also, how much you value yourself. And that can be very up and down. There can be very, very unexpected sudden shift in your income. Can be unexpected job changes, surprises, and expenses. So keep some money aside if something unexpected comes up, so you can definitely pay for that, so you don't have to really tap into the quantum field and get a solution quite fast. That gives a lot of stress. Make sure you save something. And the changes might feel a little bit destabilizing at first, but they are often a very big catalyst for growth and for liberation in the area of how you value yourself and in the area how you tend to bring in money. So Uranus in this position is going to pull you towards entirely new ways of earning, saving. Can be about freelancing, can be about online businesses, trading, some side hustles, having more than one jobs and having to juggle between that. But because it's also about values, what do you truly believe is worth investing your time, energy, and money into? And that is going to get restructured for sure. So detach from materialism and also of ideas of success. Invest in experience, skills, and also relationships that actually genuinely enrich your life and your self-worth. So you can have the desire to feel very self-sufficient and free, and that is going to maybe outweigh the need for stability. And that's a little bit weird for you guys, because I know Tauruses really value their stability and really value their possessions, but there's going to be some fluctuations coming in that. So prepare yourself for that, Taurus. And also redefine what security really means to you. Market volatility is going to probably affect your finances a little bit more than other signs. So think about your investments, your currencies, and also assets that can behave a little bit unpredictable. And also stay open to new technologies and even new communication-based businesses that actually ground yourself in these smart decision-making progresses. That's going to change as well, because nothing is guaranteed with Uranus. And when we really assume something is a sure thing, that is often when Uranus surprises us the most. So psychologically, it's going to challenge the scarcity mindset and all the limiting beliefs around money. And you might actually discover how resourceful and how adaptive that you truly are, especially when you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone and when something disruptive happens. Improvisation is really going to be your superpower during this time, and crises may become very unexpected breakthroughs in confidence and in your own creativity. So Uranus, of course, rules your 10th house of career, reputation, and all of these changes to your income and your values are going to have ripples into the public image and also into your career and professional path. So you could feel a growing urge to really break free from these traditional career structures and really pursue what works, or pursue a new kind of work that really reflects your individuality and also your evolving and renewing priorities in life. So yeah, sudden shifts in your financial world might be directly tied to a big career pivot or some kind of new leadership role. Can also be connected to bold public moves, and it's actually a powerful time to redefine success on your own terms. Even if that means walking the unconventional path, that is actually the assignment. But it's gonna go well. It makes a beautiful trine. So Uranus trine Pluto is happening in the 10th and the second house, so it's definitely about money, and it's actually supporting you to make deep, long-term transformations and how you actually show up in the world and in your career and how you fend and earn money for yourself. So your bold financial choices can actually now unlock powerful new directions in your public sphere. And by having this new innovative idea of making new money, you can actually become even famous with that, because Uranus rules the 10th house of being famous and being public. So it's going to really unlock something very, very powerful for you guys. But first, you're going to need to be very innovative and maybe rediscover how you can fix certain problems in beginning transit. So dare to build a life that actually reflects your own values, not just what you've been told by society, what's worth achieving. You are going to take the lead and be a very, very big rebel and innovator in the whole career area and how you manifest money. So good luck, my dear Taurus. And Claudia says, what a wonderful solar reading. It was fire. Also that you for the recording. So much information and homework. Oh, thank you so much, Claudia. I had so much fun seeing you and doing your solar return. It's looking very, very powerful. So, and Becca says, the only assets that are secure are the ones you have in your hand, gold and silver. Exactly. And I think with Jupiter and Cancer, everything in regards to real estate is going to be very, very important as well. And it's going to go even higher up as well with Jupiter in Cancer. So real estate, houses, gold, silver, very, very important during this time. Because if we look at the chart of the Federal Reserve Bank, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in March of 2026 is going to be, not such good news. So secure your resources, Taurus, and good luck. We have Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's it going, Gemini? Have you been feeling Uranus' shift into your sign since July 7th? So from 2025 until 2033, Uranus is going to be in your sign, guys. So this is very, very amazing. It is actually the era of deep personal reinvention. The first house is about your identity. It is about your physical body, your appearance, and also your personality, and also the way you actually take or meet life head on. So this is the transit of liberation. And for you, it's very, very personal. It's actually about becoming more of who you truly are even if that means shattering these old versions of yourself and people freaking out about that. Let them freak out. This is your time. You're gonna feel the urge to break free, to rebel against old labels, against social roles, against social expectations, whether they are actually imposed by others or if they are adopted out of habit. So yeah, surprises in how you present yourself to the world and how you express your opinions. So yeah, it's gonna bring some physical restlessness as well. So take care of your nervous system. You're gonna have surges of energy, unpredictable changes in health and sleep, and how you regulate your nervous system. So you can feel that there are going to be periods of mental overdrive that are going to be followed by burnout or changes in your energy that come and go without a warning. So try not to force too much consistency. Instead, honor your own natural rhythms and also allow room for both momentum and pause. So insights are going to arrive in the quiet moments after the action. So make sure you have enough time for that. It's also a time when others are going to notice or view you as a little bit more disruptive, eccentric, electric, unpredictable, while others are going to be very, very drawn to your originality, and others are not going to completely understand that. But that's fine. It's not the whole point. What matters is that you feel free, that you feel more aligned, that you feel more alive. And the more that you're going to embrace your uniqueness and your weirdness, because Uranus is about the weirdos. It is part of Aquarius. It is people who are ahead of their time. People who do not fit into society, who do not fit into the 9-to-5 role that we are being put up with. Pressure of society can be too much for Aquarius. That's why Aquarius and Uranus are here to innovate and really bring changes and awareness to what's actually important. And so yeah, the more that you're going to magnetize people and opportunities who actually support your evolution, the more that you're going to tap into this energy. So health-wise, stay open to unusual or alternative remedies, and also pay attention to really subtle signals from the body, because Uranus often brings these unexpected changes in health, and also the challenge that what always has worked before might not work for you now anymore, and you're gonna maybe need to dive more into all the alternative healings, like Eastern medicine, like in China, or with the needles, acupuncture and homeopathy and all these things. That is what's gonna work for you best during this time. Uranus is the planet of the alternative. So this transit is about owning your truth and reclaiming your sovereignty. And also you are likely going to shock yourself with how much that you are about to grow. You're not only going to shock others, even you are going to be surprised. So just know that this is your awakening. And the more flexible and curious that you can be, the more that this journey will feel like a wild gift rather than just pure chaos. It can feel like pure chaos. And yeah, the first house, a lot of astrologers talk about physical appearance and your hair and your clothes, but it is more than changing your clothes. It is about electrifying the essential core of who you are deep inside, and it's gonna invite you to actually shed expectations, past personas, and even these identities of survival mode that you were in, or identities that you actually wore for other people. And actually you need to step into your wildest and most liberated version of yourself. So in relationships, because of course Uranus is opposite the 7th house, others are going to react really, really strongly to your evolution, and some are going to try to resist it. Others are going to be very, very attracted by your revolutionary boldness and your surprising, electrifying nature that is being embedded in your aura right now. So it's going to bring dramatic shifts in relationships. People either grow with you or they will fall away very unexpectedly. And if that happens, let it happen. The right people will resonate with your real frequency that is getting triggered right now. So Gemini is, of course, already a sign of communication, but Uranus will really crack open your voice and very, very genius ways. So you might actually find yourself that you're gonna say some things that you never dared to say before. So speak up for yourself. Also, there's of course a mystical quality to this transit, because some of you are going to be drawn to astrology, quantum physics, or some new esoteric philosophies that actually are going to help you explain the radical shift that you're about to make in the next 7-8 years. And Uranus rules your ninth house of belief system, higher education, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, long distance foreign travels, and it's also about religion and your spiritual perspective. So the reinvention of your identity is deeply tied to a radical shift in your worldview and a radical shift in how you look at the future. So as you redefine who you are, you may feel also this urge to explore these new philosophies, study these unfamiliar subjects, seek experiences that really expand your consciousness. And the way you see the world is going to be totally being rewritten. So Uranus in your sign forms a beautiful trine to Pluto in your ninth house. So yeah, this is actually a blessing. You're being supported in making these deep lasting changes to how you understand your truth, how you look at freedom, and also how you look at your place in the universe. So yeah, bold intellectual liberation. And what begins as this personal awakening is going to ripple out into your voice as a teacher, a guider, or a guide, or some kind of visionary. And also remember that the first house is where the entire chart begins. So Uranus really is shaking up your identity, but every other part of your life here in the chart is going to follow. And especially because Uranus squares the IC, opposite descendant, square the MC. So career, relationships, health, purpose, it's all going to have a big makeover. So don't resist the reinvention. You're not losing yourself, you're actually remembering who you were always meant to be or meant to become. So yeah, let your identity be this new kind of canvas where your wildest truths are being painted into reality, and that can become quite fast and very suddenly and very unexpected. So yeah, good luck, my dear Gemini. Then we have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's it going, Cancer? Uranus is going to move into your 12th house, and it's going to do that from 2025 to 2033. And the 12th is, of course, the most hidden and mysterious part of the chart. The 12th is about the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind. It's dreams, solitude, spiritual practices, healing, letting go, self-sabotaging behavior, things from the past lives, the unseen realms, spirit guides, angels. It's all in the 12th house. So everything actually that exists beneath the surface of our waking life. So Uranus doesn't always make a very loud entrance here, but it does shake up the soul in a very subtle way. So it shakes the soul awake, and it's going to create these ripples effects, especially in your dreams when you're sleeping as well. So it's going to bring certain insights while sleeping. It's going to bring awakenings and also intuitive flashes that are going to change how you relate to your inner world. So think about patterns from childhood, ancestral dynamics, unconscious conditionally. All of these things might suddenly reveal themselves. And it's actually giving you a chance to liberate yourself from these old hidden constraints. Uranus is here to set you free in your subconscious mind. Do hypnotherapy, soul retrieval, therapy in general, all these things, breath work as well, is really going to help you break through these patterns. So yeah, you're going to see you're going to see through the emotional patterns that have very long operated in the background and that have led to this self-sabotaging behavior. And habits of self-sabotaging behavior are now very ready to be released. And Uranus can really shake that up, and that can come forth very unexpectedly. So 12th house is also the house of retreat, solitude, rest. So yeah, you're gonna see changes in your relationship with solitude. Some are gonna feel a really big need to withdraw, and not out of sadness or fear, but because your inner world becomes way more richer and more compelling, and you will want to dive deep into your subconscious whenever it presents itself. So spirituality might also take on a new form, and you could also be pulled toward practices like meditation, dream work, divination, energy healing, mysticism, especially if they also use technology or digital tools connected to that, because that is the Gemini Uranus thing combined together. So unusual spiritual guides or even experience may really find you when you least expect it, or when you are in solitude. So your dream life is going to become way more vivid, way more symbolic. I would really suggest that you have a dream journal. And if you have a sudden insight in a dream, that you write it down, because Uranus comes in very, very fast. But if you don't write it down, it can be gone as fast as well. So yeah, lucid dreams, precognitive vision, sudden intuitive downloads that actually help you make sense of all these past wounds. And it's also a good idea to keep yeah, some kind of record method, even during the day when you're daydreaming and you have an insight, write it down as well, because yeah, they can vanish very, very quickly. So yeah, it's the house of hidden information and also of secrets. So yeah, be mindful if that surfaces. Things that you have forgotten for a long time can suddenly, before you fall asleep, be like, oh, hey, this is a conversation from 10 years ago. I'm now like ready to get like, yeah, processed. And that might not be a lot of fun, but discover things. You're going to discover things that were hidden from you, and that can also include betrayals, behind the scenes things, strategics by other people. Can also, yeah, because the 12th house, they are invisible hidden enemies as well. So yeah, revelations that can lead to disillusionment or some loss of trust, especially in regards to yeah, I'm gonna be honest, spiritual groups, spirituality in itself, that can like become totally rewired, and also be people that you once relied on that can suddenly shift as well. But it's also part of your powerful spiritual clearing and cleansing in the 12th. And it's also going to awaken this ancestral memory, and also intergenerational healing is going to come forth of that. So yeah, you're going to feel more attuned to your roots, to your lineage, and also the spiritual presence of the ancestors that are guiding you from beyond. That is going to become very, very obvious as well. And if you have been carrying these ancestral baggage or trauma, Uranus is going to offer you a chance to really cut the cords and also clear all the karmic residue. And it's going to free you up. You're going to feel lighter and freer to actually walk your own individual original path. And yeah, on a more psychological level, it's more of a time of radical inner sovereignty. You're actually shedding internal noise, illusions, inherited expectations, and yeah, this process for you guys is going to be more quiet and more inward, but it's also incredibly empowering. So just know that, yeah, you're the next sign where Uranus is going to enter into. And Uranus is going to dip into your first house by 2033. And then you're going to be very ready to step into a way more bolder new identity that is more going to be grounded in truth and spiritual resilience. And also is going to be free from the invisible weights that actually once held you back. And Uranus, of course, rules your 8th house. And the 8th is, of course, about transformation, intimacy, shared resources, emotional depth. And yeah, Uranus in the 12th is often called to radically release old energetic entanglements and psychic baggage as well. So this happens, there's a trine between two very deep mystical houses. You're actually clearing space on a very deep soul level, for in order to have more authentic connection, more emotional independency, sovereignty, and also financial independence as well. Deep healing is going to occur through shadow work that belongs to the 8th and the 12th, therapy as well, spiritual practices, especially as hidden fears and also subconscious patterns around trust, control, loss of power, they're all going to become illuminated. But Uranus trines Pluto, so there's powerful cosmic support for breaking all these generational cycles and healing trauma at the very, very root of it. So as you face and free yourself from all these things that have remained buried, you might actually discover a way more profound level of intimacy with yourself, with others, but also with the mystery and occult side of life. So remember, if you're having some kind of crisis which is related to the eighth house, you're not losing yourself in the dark. You're actually rediscovering the sacred powers you once had to hide. And that can be in connection to previous or past lifetimes, as Uranus is in the 12th house of that. So let me know what happens. And Ma'am Jack says, Cancer is my MC. I listen. Is that okay? That is okay, but it's it's gonna happen in the 10th house for you. So it would be better to listen to that as well. But definitely. En even more inner work, because Stijn, je bent er nog niet vanaf. You still need to, we all need to still, evolve and break free and break through all these cycles, even if we're 95, if we're lucky enough to be that old. So I think it's still a few lifetimes for myself. I think so. Alchemy Fitness says, Cancer rising as a hypnotherapist. I welcome Uranus in my 12th. Wow, that is so beautiful. Yes, Uranus is going to give you such a big insights and breakthroughs for you as a hypnotherapist. I'm very, very happy and wondering how you are experiencing this transit up until now. Toxic Server says, natural retrograde Mars in Gemini in the 12th house. So retrograde Mars always points towards internal anger, not having learned how to express that anger. Being it in the 12th house, you don't have a grasp on your anger. Sometimes you're angry, you don't know why, and you have a very big difference to really speak up about that. Uranus is going to electrify that, and they're going to give you a lot of lessons regarding that theme and how to safely express your anger and not let it really burn you up inside. So it like really messes with the dream state. Maybe you're gonna have some more nightmares that are gonna wake you up from that cycle. So until you learn how to safely express your anger, Uranus is really gonna electrify that area. So the good luck, my dear Cancers. The next one is Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're going to have Uranus going through your 11th house from 2025 until 2033. And the 11th is about friendships, communities, groups of people, social networks, alliances, and also your hopes and long-term dreams are in the 11th. It's also a major shift that actually completely reshapes your social life, your friend groups, your goals for the future. And this is actually going to be a 7-year social and visionary revolution. So you're going to find out that some friends are going to shock you. There can be some truth exposed in regards to friend groups. And you're also going to find that friendships are going to shift in very unpredictable ways. Some people are suddenly going to exit your life without a warning, while on the other side, new fascinating individuals are going to enter very unexpectedly, and they're going to bring with them a very huge, eccentric, intellectual, or some future-oriented type of energy with them. You're also going to be more drawn to social movements, humanitarian causes, activist circles, where actually your shared values matter more than the surface level connection. So your network is going to evolve in waves, ups and downs. Uranus is very, very volatile, so it's all going to happen at once. But you could go through periods of this social reinvention, stepping into these new cycles or communities or groups while you're stepping out of others, possibly even more than once during the next 8 years. So groups that are focused on innovation, technology, humanitarianism, communication, cultural change, These are all Uranus and Gemini themes. So you might actually also attract more Gemini types. People who are very curious, very witty, very smart, very chatty, some kind of duality in themselves that is going to trigger your duality in regards to friends as well. And something is going to shift in that. So it's also going to activate your hopes, dreams, your personal goals. Uranus really wants to liberate you from all these outdated aspirations. So things that you once wanted but no longer feel aligned with, that is gonna completely disappear. So don't cling to an old dream just because you once declared it as a dream. If your goals change during this time, that is actually part of your growth, and in fact you're likely to develop new ambitions, new dreams, some of which might actually come out of nowhere. You're gonna have these sudden flashes of insights that are gonna make you more aware about new dreams that you can actually accomplish. So maybe you're also going to step into more of the spotlight within group settings. Uranus in the 11th can make you a very, very big lightning bolt, and someone whose ideas really challenge the norm and are going to spark a lot of change. Your voice will stand out in groups of people. You might also become known as someone who speaks truth, and also someone, someone is not going to like that, or some kind of groups are not going to like that, or you're going to become more known as someone who speaks about disruptive ideas, which can actually also be very brilliant in itself. So, but just know that group dynamics might be a little bit more turbulent. Watch for gossip, watch for misunderstandings, watch also for sudden fallouts with friends. And if you're gonna create gossip in your own friend group, that is gonna backfire, because Uranus wants the truth. It wants to be honest, truth, and if you're gonna gossip and stir the pot in regards to your friend groups, well, that is not the best idea to work with this energy. It will backfire. And also don't project onto friends. If you are a bit eccentric and if you are a little bit shocking, look at the dynamic between you and your friends and what your friends are also telling you about yourself during this time. But just embrace like the social experimentation, try new spaces, join new movements, and engage in conversations that challenge you, and also that push you to follow your spark of curiosity towards new collaborative ventures as well. And what begins as this passing interest or maybe a random connection could actually really evolve into a life-changing alliance. And you can embark on some new radical mission together with your friends. And Uranus, of course, rules also your 7th house of committed partnerships, marriage, one-on-one, very close friendships as well. Because the transit happens in the 11th, it could also spark deep changes in how you relate to others on a one-on-one basis, not only in group environments. So some of you are gonna really form a new unconventional partnership that can be romantic, professional, can also be creative. And it's going to be more based on a shared ideal and also on a shared future oriented vision. So also know that some kind of friendships are going to blur into partnerships, or partnerships or marriage that you have now can evolve into friendship as well. So the line between your friend or your ally and your soulmate can actually shift in surprising ways. But Uranus trines Pluto. So you're being asked to transform your patterns of connection, shedding outdated relational roles, and also drawing in people who truly support your evolution. So expect powerful karmic bonds to really be formed, or suddenly, without a warning, getting dissolved. And during this time, especially in the next 8 years, all of this is going to be in service of your growth and your freedom. So let go of relationships that or let your relationships reflect the future that you're building and not the past that you've outgrown. So a sudden breakup and a sudden new alignment can really happen quite fast here with Uranus. ruling over these houses. So I am wishing you the best of luck. And then we have Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. You are gonna have Uranus entering into your 10th house from 2025 until 2033. So it's gonna make a square towards you guys, to all the mutable signs. But for you, it happens at the top of the chart, very, very visible, very, very out there. Some can become very famous overnight or go viral or something like that with Uranus entering the 10th. It is a part of the chart that really rules career, public status, reputation, your long-term legacy, people in authority, your boss, your father is all part of the 10th house. So powerful period of professional upheaval, professional disruption, professional reinvention, breakthroughs in visibility. Redefine what success actually means to you on your own terms. And at the heart of this transit, there is a very big need to liberate yourself from these outdated models of achievement and recognition and success. Something is going to shift in that. So if you've been climbing the ladder and the ladder no longer fits the new you, or it maybe never did, then Uranus is here to really shake things up. Disruptions in your career, changes in your job role, changes in leadership, maybe some departures from industries that feel too restrictive or too stale or too ordinary. And if that happens, just trust that the new, more aligned opportunities are going to follow very, very quickly. Often is going to come from a very, very unexpected direction. So it's also a period of innovation and visibility. You're going to gain more public attention for your work, for your ideas, for your role as a leader, especially if you are involved in communication in the field of technology, field of teaching, or some kind of digital platform, because they are all ruled by Gemini. The key is here to really, really embrace your uniqueness. You are meant to stand out, not to fit in during this time. And success now is going to come from originality and adaptability and also authenticity. And rather tap into those threads rather than into tradition and conformity, because that is not going to work for you anymore. So if you have been holding on to a safe path simply because it is what society or your family or your old goals or dreams prescribed, then Uranus is going to pull the rug out from under you. So you can actually finally stand more firm in your own truth. And it's not meant to harm you, it's meant to awaken you. And the more you resist change, the more you're likely, the more likely that Uranus is going to put a big force. Uranus will really force that from the outside in if you're not going to do it from the inside out. So, but if you work with the energy, then you can experience true liberation in your professional and public field. And yeah, it is also a signal for some to go fully independent. Maybe have your own business. This is can come very unexpectedly with Uranus here. Maybe a good time to launch a personal brand, start your own business, change industries. And for others, it's going to mean stepping into a more of an innovative role in their current career path. Or maybe you're going to shake up the systems that you're currently working as well. Maybe you're going to rebel against your boss. That is a very big indicator here. And people in authority above you, that's not going to work for you. You're going to shock them all. So, but be careful, because it is vice versa. Maybe your boss can shock you very unexpectedly as well. So, maybe you're going to need to rebel a little bit. It is about the unconventional path in your career, and there can also be unexpected, more tech-driven opportunities that cross your path, especially if you already work or looking to work in that field. But yeah, if you're dealing with authority figures, that can be a little bit challenging, because you might not really tolerate that for very, very long. And Uranus really wants to free you from all these oppressive hierarchies. And if someone in power is really misusing their authority, then the tension is going to become unmanageable. It's really going to push you to seek freedom, to seek fairness, and you might also be the one in a leadership role, shaking things up and really inspiring others to think differently. And because Uranus is in Gemini, a sign ruled by Mercury, which also, of course, rules you, Virgo, this transit is especially important for you. It flavors your planetary ruler with a lot of rebellion, eccentricness, electricity, and also brilliance. So your mental sharpness is actually being supercharged, and you're likely to have these new, sudden, unexpected strategic insights, innovative visions, and also moments of pure genius in your career sector. And it's not only about your job, it is also about how the world sees you, and whether you're shifting your job, your profession, maybe publishing your new ideas, or you might become a new public figure. Maybe you're going to change the way how you contribute to society. Your reputation is going to evolve in very, very radical, unexpected ways. So don't cling to old labels. Write a new story about who you are and also what you're here to create. And of course, Uranus rules your sixth house of work, service, daily routines, health, and well being. The 10th house transit really links up directly to your professional reinvention, also to a deeper transformation of how you serve, how you function, how your productivity plays a role, and also how you sustain your well being. It's all connected. There's a beautiful trine. So your public role is going to shift. So also your daily structure is going to shift. Think about old schedules, old jobs, and obligations that may no longer support who you're becoming. They're going to fall away very, very fast. And really, yeah, build a life where purpose and practicality really work in harmony together, and productivity as well. So yeah, and also where health and also success are no longer separate goals. They need to become aligned as one. You're really empowered to completely restructure the whole workflow, your daily habits, and all the systems that you work with. And for you guys, very, very important, let go of perfectionism in favor of efficiency and sustainability. This is really your chance to realign your mission with a lifestyle that actually truly works for you, for your mind, body, and soul together. So revolutionize your rhythm, and your legacy will follow, and vice versa. So good luck, my dear Virgo. And Ma'am Jack says, my sister's been screaming at me about my emotions. Yeah, Uranus can be very, very shocking, very out of the blue, very, very unpredictable, a little bit volatile. So, yeah, it's just a symptom, Ma'am Jacks, that you might need to calm down your nervous system. But because I read here that it's your sisters that's been screaming, maybe she might need to work a little bit on her nervous system as well. So good luck. And oh, it's really been tugging at my heart, yeah. But sisters, they love each other unconditionally, and maybe you can show your sister this video and let her look at her own rising and sun sign, and maybe she will understand it even deeper, and just take some time alone to recharge by the water, and let your emotions flow. It's all fine, and your emotions are allowed to be here. It's only when we fight against them that they really blow up in our faces. So I'm wishing you all good luck. We have Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You are going to have Uranus moving through your ninth house from 2025 until 2033. And the ninth is the domain of the philosopher. It's about higher wisdom, higher education, long distance travel, spirituality, and publishing. It's also about your belief system and how you look at the world. So yeah, it's really the house that governs the beliefs that really shape how you interpret life. With Uranus here, expect an electrifying and also very unpredictable evolution of your inner compass. It's a time of big breakthroughs and perspective. And over the next several years, your worldview is going to shift radically and repeatedly. And it's going to be sparked by conversations, by new studies that you tap into, can also be of alternative media or international experience and visiting other cultures that really are going to restructure your belief system. And yeah, stay open, because the ideas that once defined you are no longer going to fit, and you're likely feeling called to really explore new ideologies, new philosophies, new foreign cultures, and all of these exposures could really reshape your beliefs in a very, very liberating way. And can be about education. It's really, really a key theme here. Some of you are going to suddenly enter or exit some academic programs, begin a new course, begin a new self study, or even become a teacher or guide yourself. So, yeah, there can be a fascination for new knowledge, and that can arrive like this lightning bolt, very unexpected, very undeniable. It's about truth in your mindset. It is about re-innovation in your limiting beliefs as well. So yeah, and if you're already studying something and it no longer aligns, then don't force it to complete it. Maybe, yeah, if you're trying to stick with all these outdated paths, then that might lead to burnout or some sudden detours in that area. Let your curiosity lead and really follow up on that. Also, very, very powerful time if you need to publish or broadcast something. Yeah, broadcasting your perspective can really gain a lot of traction. And whether if that's through writing, through podcasting, blogging, teaching, or some digital or social media, you're being asked to share your vision of the world. And Gemini, of course, rules language. Uranus rules the future. So your words could carry prophetic weight during this time. And maybe if you say something that can spark conversations that actually feel ahead of their time. That is what Aquarius and, of course, Uranus are all about. Don't underestimate the impact of your voice. And also, if you decide to travel, that might become a bit more unpredictable, but it can also spark genius insights that are going to be unusually meaningful. You might also suddenly relocate, travel abroad, form a very powerful cross-cultural relationship with foreign people, and that can really deeply affect your growth. And even if you don't leave your country, your sense of the global landscape is likely to expand through social media, alternative media, online communities, and long distance learning. Some of your most important connections might be people from vastly different backgrounds or different belief systems. And the ninth house also deals with legal matters and court cases. So yeah, be a bit careful in those areas, because if you're already involved in some kind of contracts, court cases, immigration, publishing rights, or anything that actually required long or like long distance or like legal navigation, that was what I wanted to say, then only say what's necessary, especially if it's like in documents that you need to sign. Gemini can be very, very chatty, very, very talkative. And Uranus can cause things to spiral when you say too much truth. So yeah, a small statement might carry more weight than you expect in that area. And also, yeah, it's a time of awakening. You're going to go through phases of disillusionment and renewal, where your old ways of understanding the world are going to fall away, and they're going to be replaced by something more authentic. Expect to feel intellectually a bit more restless. You can feel hungry for something bigger, more meaningful, more future focused as well. But it is actually also creative transit. Yeah, there's going to be a big desire to really synthesize big ideas across disciplines. And if you do that, then you will grow exponentially. And You're gonna blend philosophy with technology, or maybe spirituality with social groups, or like new communities in spirituality or religion as well. You might really have a whole new religion suddenly that you want to commit yourself to. It can also be about adding psychology in your storytelling as well. Gemini really is about connections, and together it's about desperate fields into a more personal intellectual revolution if you weave these things together. And Uranus is also ruler of your fifth house of creativity, and the fifth house also rules romance, pressure, and pleasure, self-expression, and joy, and having a good time, and fertility, and attraction, dating, all falls into the fifth house. So the ninth house transit of Uranus there, it isn't just expanding your mind, it's also about liberating your joy and your creative spirit and how you express yourself as well. As your worldview evolves, so does your desire to create, to date, to love, and to live with more freedom and authenticity in those areas. The fifth house is also about your kids. So something very extraordinary or something very brilliant can happen with your kids as well. And also know that love and romance might take surprising turns as well. You're actually drawn to people who challenge your beliefs and expand your perspective. And with Uranus trining Pluto, it's a rare opportunity to actually transform the way you express yourself, tuning tuning into more of an eccentric side, or attracting more eccentric partners. And it's also about turning raw inspiration into powerful messages that move others. And also know that your creativity becomes a vehicle for belief and mindset, and also your joy becomes actually a revolutionary act as well. So let your truth be radiant. When you speak from the soul, the whole world is gonna listen. So good luck, my dear Libra. And Stain says Libra moon foreign cultures rings a bell. Yes, and it's already knocking at your front door, right? So it's a sign. And thank you so much, Arno. Thank you for the support, and wishing you a happy Sunday, Arno. Thank you for joining. And Ma'am Jack says, I'm actually having a child of my friend over to teach her how to work the astrology websites for her chart. She wants to learn. Well, how applicable is that, Ma'am Jax? That is so beautiful. And I always love to hear how it manifests for you guys, because it has so many possibilities. And this is so much fun for me to read. And staying relocate and a foreign relationship, I can tell it resonates. Yeah, it's so funny. All the things that I've mentioned in our session together are coming up again, right? And Memjack says, that's what I've been doing, not volunteering anything, but you can ask me anything. I will tell you, oh dear, feet on the ground and stand in my truth. That is very, very beautiful. Yes, exactly, Memjacks. I'm gonna take a sip because I ate frietjes, I don't know, fries this afternoon. Sunday is the day for fries, but it's with a lot of salt, and I just keep on being thirsty. I'm from Belgium. I cannot live without my frietjes. Okay, we have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Uranus will be transiting your 8th house from 2025 until 2033. The 8 is, of course, a house that you're very, very familiar with because it's a traditional house of Scorpio. So, yeah, it's the most private, deep, intense, and psychologically charged part of your chart. And the 8, of course, governs about joint finances, intimacy, vulnerability, shared resources, power dynamics, entanglements, financially, sexually, psychologically. The 8 is about debt, mortgage, inheritance, psychological insights, taboo subjects, the occult, and transformation. All the themes that govern Scorpio in itself. So you know what I'm talking about here. So With Uranus here, you're entering a period of radical liberation from old fears, old dependencies, and also patterns that have kept you stuck. And there can be some long buried secrets being illuminated here with Uranus. And I don't know if you're wanting to know, like, get to know them, but they're gonna be full on blown out anyway. So yeah, it's also gonna shake up your financial ties, not just your income, but also the resources, especially that you share with other people. Think about joint accounts, assets in marriage, business investments, taxes, loans, inheritance. You're gonna experience surprising developments in that. It can also be about a partner. Maybe a partner's financial status is gonna shift unexpectedly, or debts may suddenly be resolved or intensified. Depends on your natal chart, of course. Or you might also receive an unexpected windfall, but you can also receive unexpected bills. I need to look at the personal natal chart to say it. So yeah, Uranus really aims to restructure your relationship with interdependence. So yeah, it's gonna be subtly because it's in the eight, but it's gonna be very, very powerfully. It's a time of deep psychological breakthroughs. The eight is about the hidden realms of the psyche. So, especially, it's going to spotlight themes around trust, trauma, sexuality, emotional enmeshment with other people, and surface or truths are going to surface that have remained repressed, or they're going to show you some blind spots in how you relate to other people, and you're being asked to really examine the unspoken contracts that you hold with other people, especially ones that really leave you feeling disempowered, in the embedded, or like in overexposed as well. So yeah, maybe some of you are also going to feel driven to study psychology or shadow work, or some trauma release exercises, or taboo topics like death, sexuality, mysticism, the occult all belong to Scorpio and the eighth house. So yeah, your curiosity could become a very, very powerful healing tool. And also, yeah, research could lead to also moments of emotional liberation. And you're going to start to name the things that were unnamed. You're going to start reclaiming your power that you have been giving away in very subtle or subconscious ways. So, yeah, in your intimate life, on a sexual basis, there could be some sudden connections or sudden separations. You could also form a very deep, unexpected bond with someone who actually challenges your emotional patterns. And you, Scorpios, are going to have to let go of control. It's going to be hard for you because Uranus in the eighth house, you're going to have no control over Uranus, and that might feel more difficult for you, my dear Scorpios. So, maybe you're going to feel the urge to withdraw from a very long standing entanglement that really no longer feels reciprocal. So, yeah, verbalize the vulnerability, even if it feels scary. Uranus says, speak your truth, even if it breaks the mold, or maybe if it ruffles some feathers. So, yeah, power dynamics are a very, very big major theme here. And if you've been caught in controlling and being manipulative or one-sided dynamics, can be personally, can be professionally, Uranus will no longer tolerate it. And the moment that you try to stay quiet about an imbalance, you might actually blurt out the truth, or find or maybe find yourself on the receiving end of that. So that can happen vice versa, but truth will come out. And try not to sting, because with Uranus is going to backlash. Try to stay ahead of all the chaos by speaking honestly, even when it feels a bit uncomfortable. Also, contracts and financial agreements should also be handled with very careful attention. Uranus in Gemini, read the fine print. It's about verbal agreements, shared information, and that can actually be the source of some shocks or some kind of revelation. And always, yeah, read before signing, and also be mindful of what you say and what others say they'll do. There can be some miscommunication in intimate or business partnerships that could really spark larger consequences here and can create a lot of upheaval and volatile energy in your shared resources with other people. But on a spiritual or occult level, this is actually a time of alchemy. The eight is about life and death and rebirth, not literal death, but symbolic kind of death. You're gonna shed identities, fears, inherited conditioning that you didn't realize that were still weighing on you. And yeah, if you release what's no longer authentic, you're going to open up space for more genuine intimacy, shared empowerment, and also more deep, soulful trust. And because it's the house of secrets, and with Uranus here, everything that's hidden is going to come to light. And it could simply be about your own psyche. It could also be about your family lineage, and also relationships that you thought that you understood. Yeah, if something has been kind of eclipsed from your awareness, can also be in regards to friendship, because the next eclipse is solar eclipse is going to be in the 11th house here for you. But yeah, expect it to surface, and it's not going to surface to shame or destroy you. It's going to surface to free you. So Uranus is not here to punish. It's actually here to liberate through these sudden insights, even when it causes a bit of shock. And Uranus rules your fourth house of home, family, roots, emotional foundations. So the eighth house transit is going to stir deep shifts in both your inner and ancestral landscape. Transformations in intimacy and trust and shared resources are all going to mirror changes within your family dynamic, within your living situation, and also in inherited emotional patterns. So uncover hidden family stories, secrets from the family coming to light, karmic baggage that is like begging to be released right now. So luckily there's a trine between Uranus and Pluto. So yeah, you're actually being invited to fully restructure your emotional foundations and liberating yourself from roles and generational trauma or these outdated survival strategies that are no longer working for you. So powerful opportunity to reclaim your space both physically and psychologically, and actually create a new home within and around you that actually fully reflects your truth and not your history. So when you heal the roots, the entire tree can rise. So let yourself grow from beyond the past. So good luck, my dear Scorpio. And there are a lot of comments here. Hi, Amy. And hi, Brandon. Okay, the next one is Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Sagittarius? Uranus is gonna transit your seventh house of one-on-one relationships, marriage, business partners, close friendships, clients, and open enemies as well. So yeah, this is the house that is about contracts, agreements, negotiations. There's going to be a major shift in how you relate to other people and also how others show up in your life. Expect the unexpected in regards to other people. Yeah, sudden surprising new partnerships. There can be a dramatic experience that changes things in the people closest to you. If you're already in a relationship, that can be a romantic, business, or close friendship, your partner might also go through radical transformations. The effect of Uranus can really be fully coming to life in the life of your partner, or can fully blown out in the life of your partner. So the dynamic between you might also change in very unpredictable ways. So can lead to a sense of excitement and renewal, but can also lead to instability and uncertainty, depending on how flexible you are actually. So, but most of you are gonna attract people who are very eccentric, very brilliant, very unconventional, and even a bit rebellious. And yeah, the new connections might feel very electric and inspiring, but they might also be a bit erratic, eccentric, or like non-committal, not wanting to commit, being a wild free bird. And yeah, you might attract people who are going to teach you lessons and how to love in an unconditional way, and having like both keeping your authentic version of yourself and not like fully blending and like starting to operate as one person. So if you attract people who are very free, very wild, then they're actually teaching you more how to become that yourself. So, and also, yeah, Uranus is going to bring people in your life that are going to challenge your norms, and also they're going to innovate your definition of what a relationship should be like. You might also find yourself more open to non-traditional relationship styles, like no hate on that. You might also feel called to redefine totally what partnership means to you. So, especially if any close connections that you're having to deal with right now, if they feel restrictive, judgmental, or emotionally stifling or controlling, then they're going to start to begin to fall apart. Uranus demands liberation, and any relationship that limits your growth and limits your self-expression or your personal freedom, which is very, very important for you as a Sag, Sun, Moon, or Rising, then it's likely gonna undergo a very big restructuring, and it's gonna probably get dissolved entirely. So while that actually can be painful, it is often a very necessary clearing to make space for more aligned and authentic partnerships to enter your life. So there's also going to be a shift in how you negotiate agreements. Contracts are going to get changed very suddenly. Some are going to get revoked. Some are going to appear out of nowhere. And also long-standing businesses deals may also, yeah, unexpectedly end, or like a new surprising collaboration might fall into your lap. It really emphasizes the fragility and also the mutability of verbal written agreements. So really double check the fine print, the little letters, the details, stay adaptable, and also know that your approach to contracts and relationships, it's all so very fast evolving, and yeah, you're less tolerant of control, predictability, and these rigid definitions. So if you've previously had strong expectations for how relationships should look like, then you might find yourself loosening those standards. Allow others to be as free as you want to be yourself. And if you do that, you might experience a new kind of intimacy that is going to be based on mutual respect and authenticity. You're also going to experience major growth through other people. Some of the people that are going to enter your life during this time are going to be big catalysts. Individuals who really spark your creative ideas, that are going to shift your goals and also are going to open your mind to new possibilities. And all these new partnerships, some are going to be possibly very short-lived. Some are going to be a bit chaotic, a bit turbulent, but they can really serve as stepping stones in your personal evolution. Like some people can enter your life, teach you something about marriage or about partnership, and they're like helping you on the next leg of your journey before someone new comes in and wants to commit more fully. That is possible. Some are going to challenge you, some are going to rebel, some are going to elevate you, but either way, you're going to be changed by them. That is for sure. And if you're married, if you're in a very long-term commitment, then your partner might also undergo a very, very big, significant change in personality, in beliefs, or in their life direction as general. Can be a bit disorienting, but also you need to look at it as an opportunity to really renegotiate your dynamic. And it's going to be provided, the dynamic that is already provided if you're willing to grow in a tandem And if that works, that's fine, but it's going to require new levels of communication, honesty, and also flexibility. And yeah, if that doesn't happen, then you're going to split up for sure. Uranus in the 7th is the main transit of a separation. Can also be maybe a separation doesn't need to necessarily mean a divorce. A separation could also mean that maybe your partner gets a very a long waited job offer overseas, and maybe he or she needs to go for a while, and that is going to change the dynamic as well. That can simply also be the case, but Uranus in the 7th is mostly some kind of separation. So yeah, if you're single as a Sag, then this can also be a time when love can arrive in very unexpected ways, out of the blue. Can be someone very eccentric, very unconventional, can also be like not your usual type, or you can also connect with the person through technology, activism and community, also through intellectual debate. Don't be surprised if the people who show up now reflect your future self and not your past patterns. They are here to teach you something. And it's also going to teach you that partnership is not about control, not about obligation or permanent. It's about dynamic exchange and shared evolution, how you grow as a couple or as a business collaborator. And yeah, restructure the way you engage with others. Maybe you need to replace outdated scripts, with new breeding connections that really support both your individuality and intimacy. Then Uranus rules your 3rd house of communication. 3rd house is also about thought patterns, learning, studying, local networks, short distance trips, siblings, neighbors. So yeah, Uranus in the 7th isn't just revolutionizing your relationships, it's also transforming how you think, speak, and connect with others on a daily basis. So conversations within partnerships might also become more stimulating, more unpredictable, and even revolutionary. And it's going to push you to express yourself more freely and also authentically. So you might also attract partners who actually challenge the way how you process information, or are going to try to expand your intellectual horizons. But there's a trine between Uranus and Pluto. So yeah, break down outdated communication habits, speak more truthfully, and also build relationships based on mental resonance and also mutual respect. Partnerships that help you think differently and are going to help you to think bigger, that are the ones that are going to endure. So speak your truth very boldly. Your voice is actually the bridge between freedom and connection. Use it wisely. Good luck, my dear Sages. Then we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Capricorn? How are you doing? Yeah, Uranus is going to enter your 6th house. And that is actually the area or the realm of your daily routines, your work, your habits, your physical health and well-being, your productivity, your service, your daily schedule. So yeah, the house rules over how you structure your life on a daily basis. That includes your job responsibilities, how you organize your time, how you take care of your body, how much time you put and how much time and effort you put in your well-being. It's also the house of stress. And yeah, Uranus is very unpredictable, very fast moving in Gemini. So the way how you manage your daily tasks, your daily time, your health, it's all up for a very big big innovation. So the transit is going to bring a bit of disruption and also liberation to your work and your wellness rhythms. And if you've been stuck in outdated routines or even jobs that feel limiting, then this is a time when the universe might throw you a very big curveball to actually get you to rethink how you structure your life. Can be sudden changes in employment, new job offers, the department that you work in can have a big shakeup. There can also be a desire to completely change fields. If you're self-employed or you want to be, then this can be the beginning of even a freer, more flexible way of working. And at the same time, Uranus and Gemini can also bring a lot of restlessness and distraction into your daily 9 to 5 job or life in general. And yeah, you're more prone to mental overstimulation. You can find it harder to focus. You might also notice that you're more sensitive to interruptions. So it would be wise to, yeah, start planning ahead, also reducing the digital distractions, also minimize yeah, having too much things to do at once. Yeah, you might need to yeah, clear out your desk, have like not a lot of distractions in the workspace. Maybe you might need to put up boundaries with colleagues who disturb you, or your boss that asks too much of you. The sixth house is also about your productivity. And if people, if you work like in Dutch we say an island. If you work like on an island with multiple people sitting at a desk, that might feel very, very draining for you right now, guys. So some of you are gonna have to, yeah, move space or work more from home, maybe if that's possible, to avoid the distractions around you. But yeah, very potent time to re-engineer your routines, streamline your workflow, change your schedule to your energy levels, or change your schedule to your productivity level, and experiment with new approaches to productivity as well. Uranus is going to set you free from all the rigid patterns in your daily life. And if your current schedule isn't really aligned with your values, with your health or creative drive, then you're going to feel very, very agitated. Yeah, Uranus is going to push you and it's going to irritate you until you make the necessary changes in that area. So, yeah, take small but consistent improvements that can lead to massive gains in efficiency and having more freedom at the job. You need to liberate yourself in the workspace. And if we look at the health perspective, then yeah, there can be new wellness breakthroughs. There can also be strange symptoms coming up. So yeah, it can also indicate some unexpected or like intermittent health issues, especially if they involve the nervous system, if they involve overstimulation, anxiety, fatigue, stress. Or stress is going to have way more effect on you than before this transit. You're going to notice that because as a Capricorn, especially the rising, you're very stable, very secure, like as a sun sign as well, of course. But because the rising, it happens in the sixth house, and you're going to feel like, oh my god, I am more prone to stress. I need more time to calm the nervous system. Your body is going to respond to stress in very unusual ways. So really listen very closely to your physical signals and also adjust your habits accordingly. That is going to help. So yeah, Uranus is of course the planet of alternative healing methods. So yeah, experiment with new wellness practices or modalities. Also, yeah, uh, tools for nervous system regulation is going to be very, very important. Think about breathing. Uranus is air. Breath work is going to be very, very important. But maybe TRE, trauma release exercise, that helps to yeah, calm down the nervous system. We also have EMDR, hypnotherapy. We also have acupuncture if it's on the bones and the tissue, or fascia therapy, hypnosis, and all these things could actually, all the alternative things like homeopathy as well, homeopathic things, yeah, they're all going to be more effective, or it can be the only thing that is effective. Uranus is the alternative. Maybe the classic healing techniques are going to be less effective. Like, I'm not saying they're bad. If you break your leg, I'm very happy and very grateful for the classic or like normal yeah, health workers. But you're gonna need to tap into the more alternative section. And actually, the alternative medicine, that is the real original classic medicine. So if you think about that, but that's a whole other discussion. So the sixth house also, yeah, it rules over your relationship or the dynamic to your service for other people. And it's also, the sixth house is about obligation. The sixth house is also renting out your house or renting properties. So if you rent a property, some volatile, disruptive energy can happen as that as well. But if you have been overextending yourself and also doing all these tasks that actually no longer serve you, or actually serving systems that feel meaningless, then you're gonna feel pressure to liberate yourself from all these unnecessary burdens. Uranus is gonna expose all the inefficiencies, and is also gonna inspire you to declutter and clear out all the unnecessary obligations. You're also gonna find out that you will be more it will be easier to adopt a more tech savvy, unconventional approach to being in service to others. Be aware of your boundaries in your service towards others as well. And you're also going to feel drawn to causes or missions that have some kind of humanitarian, some kind of scientific, or a focus on communication. And in those fields, you can really have an excellent time in that as well. Yeah, work becomes more mobile. That can also mean the flexibility and the volatile energy, and that can become more mobile, more remote, more digital as well. So yeah, maybe you're gonna have to use several apps, several platforms, several computers or technologies, or people from different parts of the world, people who are very, very eccentric, maybe a bit weird, people who are ahead of their time can really enter the workspace as well. Yeah, you might need to constantly adapt to new systems, new people, and new workflows. So for some of you, that can be very exhilarating and a lot of fun, but for others, it can become very disorienting. If you're open to learning, yeah, then this could be an excellent time for innovation, but because it's going to be a bit much, burnout is a real risk here. With Uranus's high voltage energy and also Gemini's quick pace, you could also find yourself going from hyper productivity mode to sudden exhaustion. And yeah, you're gonna need to pay a lot of attention to what your energy levels are saying. You're gonna have to respect the cycles of your energy, and also don't expect yourself to really maintain that peak 24/7, 7/7. So when you feel a burnout coming, really take it as a very big signal. Don't see it as failure. Rest is very, very essential with Uranus here, and it's also about honoring your off switch as much as your on switch, or your drive and your productivity. So yeah, it's also going to spark brilliant solutions to long-standing problems in the work area, especially if it's connected to logistics, to trade, to communication. You're going to create new systems. Can be about automating tasks, can also be about streamlining workflow. It can also be about something in your work that feels, if it feels inefficient, then you're gonna make it faster, smarter, better ways to handle all these problems. You're gonna be very good at troubleshooting, at innovating things that you work on, redesigning things, improve structures. All of that energy is very much heightened now. So yeah, really adapt the mindset of experimentation, and also you might develop a new unexpected interest in topics about health and healing, and you might even study that or practice that. It can be about holistic wellness, and something about nutrition, something about biohacking. That is all part of the alternative remedies of Uranus in the sixth as well. It's about the body mind connection, and also yeah not only for you, but also if you work in the health field, then you're gonna have big breakthroughs. You might even invent something in that as well. Or you could make this your new job, new vocation, side business, that could go really well for you. So think about your work-life balance, and yeah, know that your schedule is gonna be shaken up, and also know you need to listen better to your health habits. Be proactive, reinvent the systems before they collapse on their own. And Uranus rules, of course, your second house of money and resources and income, and how you actually work for your money. That's why I was mentioning, if you work in the health field, that is gonna mean some new tool, some new technology is really gonna increase your earning capability. And also, if you don't work in such a field, you can become quite successful in that and really earn a lot of money in that. So that actually looks very positive. Just be aware that you don't overwork and that you don't burn out. But apart from that, all these new changes in your daily routine are looking very positive for the way that you earn your money, and new streams of income that can like fall into your lap and that can become very successful. So speak your truth boldly, especially in the work area, and if you do that, you can earn big numbers with that. So good luck, my dear Capricorn. Then we have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Uranus will be activating your fifth house of creativity, joy, fun, romance, dating, flirting, children, your hobbies, games, personal self expression as well. It's actually the part of the chart where we get to play, have fun, express ourselves, and actually follow and tap into our bliss, and do the things that make us happy. So that is very important, because Uranus, of course, is your chart ruler. So good times ahead of you. This is very very cool for you, my dear Aquarius. And Uranus is very fast paced and very curious in Gemini. So it's actually a time of creative awakening, romantic experimentation, but do it carefully, because Uranus in the fifth can be unexpected pregnancy. So it's also about rediscovering your joy and very unexpected alternative places. So your life is going to be lit up with sparks of inspiration in that field. Uranus in this house brings a series of flashes of insight, and also disruptions, but also breakthroughs that all are going to center around how you express yourself authentically. So you're going to feel this sudden urge to really start a new creative project. Maybe you're going to, out of the blue, have a new hobby that you're very excited about. Maybe you're going to experiment with a new form of art. Dive into a hobby that you never know that you would care about. Something completely new, out of the blue, very striking, very unexpected. And your new passions could also be a bit unconventional. But as an Aquarius, I know you guys already are like this. You guys are the weirdos. You guys are the people who are ahead of their time. You are here to break free, to re-innovate, or to like bring innovation and society. And we're very grateful for you guys that you guys do that. So if Uranus in Gemini, it doesn't follow trends. It sets them. So don't be surprised that if you find yourselves obsessed with new niches, new kind of interests, new weird subcultures, maybe new type of mediumship, or maybe it encourages you to really trust your instincts and also follow what excites you. So even if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter. For you, listen to your intuition and it will make sense. So The creative hobbies might also evolve into opportunities for independence that can be financially, socially, personally, something that starts out as maybe a side hustle or a side hobby that is going to lead to unexpected professional success, especially if you're bold enough to share your unique voice in a public way. So it's also the house of romance and dating. So get ready for a very wild ride in this area. Uranus is going to bring very surprising, unconventional, eccentric connections, new strange partners that are going to be very ahead of their time, can be about sudden romantic shifts, and you're gonna feel yourself even more drawn to free-spirited, eccentric, and highly intellectual people. Actually, people who don't fit your usual type, but people that are going to inspire you. Relationships that are going to be formed during this time might not follow the traditional formats, but that's actually okay. It's about freedom, authenticity, and mental stimulation, and these are like new romantic things that you need to get implemented in a relationship. So Uranus in the fifth, it also shakes up how you experience joy and fun and have a good time. And if you feel a bit stuck in old patterns, or like old patterns of fun and joy that no longer satisfy you, then this is going to liberate you from these outdated ideas. And it's time to reclaim your joy. Think about childhood. The fifth house is where things get born, and it's also about the inner child. So, explore new expressions of your identity through some kind of new eccentric performance. Can also be in writing, in games, can be in designing things, can also be about in performing, singing, dancing. Gemini really thrives in the communication field. So, creative writing, social media projects, podcasting, or actually the spoken word could all become new, big, liberating outlets of self expression. And it's going to reactivate themes from your own earlier life. Activities that you felt drawn to might stir memories or help you to reclaim parts of yourself that were actually shut down early on in your life. So, very, very big healing opportunity. So, expressing yourself now can be a kind of it can actually be healing to play right now. It can be a new way of claiming joy where you were once denied. So, and of course, children fall under the fifth house. If you are a parent yourself, you might see your kids going through major changes. um, Maybe they're gonna develop new surprising interests. Maybe they're gonna show new signs of genius level thinking. Maybe they're gonna speak a little bit more surprisingly or shockingly towards you. Can also be, they're definitely gonna express themselves in a more rebellious, independent way for sure. So don't freak out about that. Support them as they discover their uniqueness, even if their new path is kind of shocking or surprising to you. And if you don't have kids, you might be inspired to work with young people. That is Gemini. You can teach, mentor, or create something for children if you don't have any. But be careful of unexpected pregnancies with Uranus in the fifth for sure. So, you're gonna be also a lightning rod for new ideas. That's not gonna be consistent. So maybe you're gonna have some kind of creator block or writer block. That is okay. Uranus is very volatile. It goes up and down. And it cannot be consistent anyway, because Gemini is not known for consistency. It's about mutability, flexibility, adaptability, and the variety of ideas, and the playful mindset that you bring could be groundbreaking and lead you towards new shifts. And don't worry if your interest shifts as well with that. In fact, you're being asked to shed these old creative identities in favor of more authentic ones. And Uranus is not sentimental at all. It wants you to liberate, It wants you to evolve. It wants to create more awareness. And that, of course, also includes outgrowing passions that no longer resonate with you. So, yeah. The fifth house is also speculative investments. Be careful. Uranus could be all or nothing. Uranus could be a big sudden surprise, but with Uranus, you could lose it all in once as well. So be careful. And the fifth house is where we take risks, where we take chances in love, in art, in self expression, but also in the speculative field. So Uranus loves a bold move. It's like when you go to the casino and you just say all in because you feel so confident and self-assured, and just like that, your all your money vanishes. So be careful with that. But you're gonna take risks and maybe declaring your feelings, maybe on stepping onto the stage. That can be literal or figuratively speaking. Just know that it's your time to be brave, be weird, be seen, and you're gonna have the words to match that. So, yeah. Your relationship to attention, recognition, admiration, and praise is also going to shift. Especially if you're Aquarius rising, you are the innovator, but not always the one that is chasing the spotlight. And Uranus in the fifth might really encourage you to step out in a more public way. If you're doing something new, something intellectually sharp, then don't hesitate to share your work. Now is the time to really fly high, and there can be viral moments, there can be unexpected growth in audience, there can be public opportunities. All of these are big possibilities with Uranus in the fifth. You might also be inspired to share what you've learning or creating with a wider audience, especially online. But overall, this transit is about rediscovering joy on your own terms. Yeah, the fifth is less about fitting in and more about finding the weird, brilliant, and also electrifying things that make your life worth living and that are going to provide you more joy and fun. So if you've been holding back, it's really your cosmic permission to, yeah, let go, have fun, light up, share your words, live it out. Be loud. It's the house of Leo in traditional astrology, the fifth. So very important for you guys, my dear Aquarius, because Uranus rules your chart or rules your sun sign. If it's your rising sign, it's your first house of identity, appearance, and also direction in life. And as you explore all these new things of creativity and romance and joy, you're also, by doing that, undergoing a very subtle but powerful reinvention of yourself and the identity. So the more that you're going to express your true passions and your talents, the more that you're going to reshape how other people see you, and also how you see yourself, because that is most important. So it's making a beautiful trine. Pluto in your sign, Uranus, your planet, in Gemini, making a trine to Pluto. On August the 8th or the 9th, depending on where you are in the world, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius, and Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is going to trine Pluto in your sign as well. So all the things that I've mentioned now can have like a kickstart within a few days on August the 8th or the 9th with the full moon in Aquarius. So just in time before we have the full moon, yeah, your identity is going to shift, be more authentic, magnetic, and also unapologetically more original. So be weird, be loud, be ahead of your time, shock the crowds, make some changes in the collective consciousness, and just know that your joy is your superpower. And when you live it boldly, your whole life begins to shift. So don't forget to have fun, my dear Aquarius. I wish you the best of luck. Then last but not least, we have my sweet Pisces sun, moon, or rising. Maybe I'm going to take a sip first. So, my Pisces sun, moon, or rising, you're going to have Uranus entering your fourth house of home, family, emotional foundations, ancestry, and identity of the soul that is very deeply rooted. It is about very deep emotions in the fourth house. And the fourth house, the EC cusp at the bottom of the chart, this is one of the most sensitive places in your chart. It is very, very vulnerable, very, very emotional, very, very striking, because it does influence all the other cusps, all the other angles in your chart. The EC squares your rising, your descendant, and your MC. So not only the foundations of your home and family and life are about to shift, they are going to affect all the other houses as well. Makes a square, so a bit more intense for you guys. It squares all the mutable signs, of course, opposition to Sag and a conjunction in Gemini, but it affects all the mutable signs, so you guys are up for big change. So yeah, it is one of the most intimate, private, and also foundational areas of the birth chart. So Uranus, when it moves through this territory, then the changes run very, very deep, and they are altering not just your physical surroundings, but it's almost all about your inner life, your emotional patterns, and the relationship to your past, and also especially the mother. She belongs in the fourth house as well. So it can bring unexpected changes to your home life, for sure. You might find yourself unexpectedly moving in or out somewhere. Perhaps that's going to happen more than once over the next 7-8 years. You're also going to explore an alternative or non-traditional place or form of living. Think about tiny houses, living in a van, buying a boat. All these things can come up for you, because you want to liberate yourself from these confining environments. So maybe it's a physical home that feels too rigid, or maybe some household or roommate dynamic that doesn't really reflect who you are anymore. So it could also include moving into communities, co-living spaces, or more mobile living arrangements. Think about a digital nomad, your van, like I just mentioned. And even if you don't move, something about your living situation is likely going to shift in a very unexpected, radical way. Renovations, maybe a new household member, maybe someone moving out, so maybe a roommate that changes houses, unexpected repairs around the home, unexpected upgrades in technology around the home. Think about all things that is related to air inside of the home. Maybe you might need to buy an air purifier, or air conditioning breaks down, something like that. But all the air is also connected to and especially because it trines Pluto and Aquarius, it's also about technology inside of the home. Think about smart home technology, AI inside of the home. It's all about air conditioning technology, having some volatile energy with all things technological, especially if it's like invisible waves, like the internet inside of your home. The fourth is also about family, ancestry, and also your emotional foundations. So you're going to experience surprising developments involving maybe parents or other relatives, and maybe they're going to act in a more eccentric or unpredictable way. Or maybe something in the lives of your family, or maybe in the life of your mother, is going to change very suddenly, and that can cause ripple effects onto you. It also encourages you to rethink your connection to your family traditions. Think about your cultural heritage and also your emotional conditioning. Uranus will set you free in that area. If you've ever felt like your roots were more binding and controlling and restrictive than they were nourishing and loving, then it's your opportunity to really liberate yourself from these constraints. So think about the old stories about who you were, where you came from, what that means for your life can all be rearranged right now. So for some, it's going to mean separating from certain family patterns, certain family members, breaking certain cycles that actually have been going back into your line for centuries. And for others, it could also mean rediscovering something very powerful within the lineage, and finally feeling like a sense of resonance with the past. It's also connected to your inner emotional life and also your sense of psychological security. Uranus will deliver sudden flashes of insight in your core self. Can through very emotionally charged moments. You're gonna need to be very, very careful into feeling your emotions. Otherwise, it's gonna have a negative impact on your work, health, job, and your identity and your confidence as well. So maybe you're going to wake up with new awareness about your needs, or maybe suddenly recognize that a very deeply embedded pattern is holding control over you and that it no longer fits you. And all these insights can really lead to a process of emotional healing and also the process of individuation as well. No longer defined by your upbringing. That is actually very beautiful if you can, if you can reach that level. So it's gonna correspond with family teams for sure. Maybe, yeah, you might find yourself, yeah, forming emotional bonds with people who feel more like home than to your actual family or your actual relatives. You could also even be called to start a family of your own, and also, yeah, choose to do that in a way that's like radically different than from how you were brought up or how you were raised, and you're gonna take a whole new alternative way or a new alternative approach in that. And if you are already a parent, then it's going to bring a very big shift in how you parent, or your parenting role. Your child might also go through a very big period of individuation. It's going to become more independent, more unique, more unpredictable, more shocking, more rebellious. So be mindful of that. And that could also mean that your identity as a caregiver needs to evolve too. If your children are leaving home, and then your sense of home will change in very unexpected ways, offering you a kind of emotional and lifestyle freedom that you didn't expect or that you didn't see coming. And that could throw you a little bit of balance, to be honest. If you are if you're not a grandmother yet, that might also become very unexpectedly, surprisingly, because you have Jupiter in the fifth house and Uranus in the fourth. So becoming a grandmother could also be in the cards for you, very, very clearly here. But there's also very psychic dimension here. The fourth house is it's your private inner temple. With Uranus here, it's very mental, communicative Gemini in that sign. So your inner dialogue and also your intuitive insights may also come in very fast and very sharp. You might suddenly understand a family pattern that has been blocking you for years and years, and suddenly you see that the answer was in front of your nose the whole time. Can be about the trauma, a hidden part of yourself that's been operating in the background, waiting to be emerged and released. So all of these moments, they might arrive out of nowhere, and they can also be very, very hard to ignore. But they're here to liberate your emotional body and help you to feel more alive, more awake, and also it helps you about with self-awareness. There can also be a pull towards technology and intellectual stimulation within the home, as I already mentioned. You might redesign your space to really, make like a little corner inside of the home where you can like write or podcast or do some remote work from home, do some investigation, some research, dive into metaphysical studies, dive into the quantum field, look at what 0 point energy is and what's in the ether around us, and that all the answers are already available for us. Make a corner for yourself where you can really dig into that. It's going to help you to feel free, mentally alive, and it's going to make you feel happy. And on a more esoteric level, Yeah, Uranus in the fourth is really yeah, challenging you because it squares your angles to really disentangle yourself of self from all these inherited structures. And yeah, especially the emotional roles that you've played within your family. Very, very powerful transit to reclaim long lost parts that were taken away by controlling family members as well. So yeah, reclaim parts of you that got actually buried under obligation, fear, or tradition or conventional approaches. Your definition of home is going to change entirely, and home may become less about structural walls and more about, yeah, kicking in the walls and having more freedom, fluidity, and also, yeah, the people who belong inside of your home. You're gonna feel that you're gonna invite, or people are gonna come over who are who are quite eccentric and are quite ahead of their time. So yeah, maybe you can start doing something at home and that brings together some kind of community where you can share your eccentric ideas. That will also be a very good idea to yeah, tap into this energy. Yeah, Uranus also rules your 12th house. And the 12th is about the unconscious, solitude, withdrawn, retreat, dreams, spiritual healing. It is a traditional Pisces house, and Pluto is there right now. So the fourth house transit of Uranus really links up with your outer home. The outer home links up with your inner sanctuary and vice versa. So as your physical environment really transforms during this time, so too does your connection to your inner world and your ancestral memory and also your spiritual lineage. So yeah, you might feel called to retreat, reflect, and heal in very, very private ways. And you need to use solitude as a portal for very, very deep insight and also emotional renewal. So with the trine between Uranus and Pluto, you're actually supported in clearing karmic baggage, also breaking these ancestral cycles, and also restoring your energetic boundaries. And Pluto is going to make a very big transformation in that. So what shifts in your outer life is merely a mirror of the profound inner awakening that is happening during this time. And you're going to be freed. Uranus is going to free you to live in a bigger alignment with your soul and to make cut ties and separate from your history that no longer serves your growth. So as you now rewire your roots, you reclaim your inner peace, and home begins where your spirit feels totally free. So good luck, my dear Pisces. Okay, that was it for today. Oh my god, that was like a whole bunch. So no matter your rising sign, Uranus in Gemini is here to actually awaken something very, very electric and very extraordinary within you. So over the next 8 years, expect the unexpected, follow your curiosity, and also stay open to the wild brilliance of reinvention. So it's not a transit for staying small at all. Do not stay silent. Share your weird ideas, connect with your weirdos, and the ones who will lead the way forward for us. And also, yeah, it's a big cosmic invitation to think differently, to live more freely, and also to rewrite the story that you've actually been told about who you are. So just know Uranus is very fast paced in the sign of Gemini, our local environment. A lot of fast changes are going to be happening into our local environment. Some people are going to freak out, but it's just the planetary energy that is being manifested here. So within all the chaos, there is always a spark of genius. There's also always going to be a message, and there's always going to be some kind of breakthrough that is actually meant just for you. So actually, yeah, trust the detours and also honor your weirdness inside. Speak your truth. Most importantly, also let this be the era where you say yes to the future that you actually crave so much, because you were never meant to fit into the mold. You were actually meant to break free and also build something better, something more aligned with your futuristic version of yourself. So, hey, Laura. Laura says, I also love her genuineness. That's so sweet, Laura. And Stain says, Astrid is coming out of trance. Yes, sometimes that really, really happens. Like sometimes, and also I do photography. And sometimes when I do astrology or photography, I need to check my phone and I'm like, oh, wow, an hour went by. Now it's like 2 hours. And it's like, I didn't know I was here. So, and thank you so much, Laura. Oh, you guys are all so sweet. And Katie says 5 stars. Wow, that is a lot. And thank you so much, Mem Jax. You're very, very kind. And of course, Becca as well. Oh, you guys really, really warm my heart. And Lakeside Laura says, weirdos unite. That is so, so cool because yes, that is the way forward. So all of you guys, thank you so much for being here today. I am sending all my love and my blessings back to you. Thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you back soon for another video. Bye bye.